You are telling the world that you're willing to give up what you don't need when you die for somebody else to be able to live.
Most people, if they love their children, or they love their brother, or they love their mother, they'll make the right decision.
It's a different way of helping out another person when they are sick.
If you can give that gift to someone else and help them out, I feel that part of you is still living in that person.
You can help someone else to live, even though your loved one is gone on. To know that your loved one has helped someone else to survive, it gives you some kind of hope. It gives you some kind of feeling of like you did something good for your loved one.
For the individual that received my sister's eyes, it's an incredible gift that she gave, and I think when someone receives an organ, the people who I've met, they cherish life more than we could ever consider cherishing life.
My first experience with organ donation was when my mom had a heart attack and was in Saline Hospital. And she passed away, and a gentleman representing the hospital approached my father and I and asked us would we be interested or are we considering donating her organs. And at that time I felt like I was the one that was going to make that decision. I'm looking at him thinking, oh my gosh, what in the world am I going to do? This is the worst. And my dad pipes up and he's like, your mom and I talked about this. Your mom wanted to donate her organs. This is something we talked about, this is something she wanted to do. And I can remember to this day looking at the man and saying, there's your answer.
It'll be 10 years ago in November that my wife and I lost our daughter Jennifer, our only child, due to a traffic accident. We got that dreaded phone call in the middle of the night. We were asked if we would be willing to donate Jenny's organs, and without thinking, it was an easy decision to make, even though we didn't know Jenny's wishes, but we knew Jenny. And Jenny was a very giving person. She worked for Jerry's Kids. She was always there to give blood when the phone call came. So when we were asked, it was a very easy decision for Barbara and I to make.
When my sister died 10 years ago, when the doctors, she was taken to the hospital, when the doctors came in and told us she wasn't going to make it. They had tried very hard to save her life and were unable to, but she was on life support, and asked us if we had considered organ donation. Coincidentally, she had a 60-second conversation a couple months prior to that said if something ever happened to her, she would want to donate her organs. So the answer was easy.
First of all, I have to say I thank God, because He really guided me during this transition of Christians. She was on her way to work the morning of the accident, and she got hit by a car. When they let me go in to see her, she was so beautiful, peaceful. Her neck had been broken. Christian had been on life support at the time while we were waiting. So I was finally struck with a decision to say, oh God, what do I do? And in my spirit, it was like an urgency for me to do something. And I'm like, Lord, what should I do? And then all of a sudden, organ donation popped in my mind. And I was like, wow, I could donate her organs. I had heard of it, but I never signed up for it or talked to my kids about it. But at least it made me feel like if I donated her organs, a piece of her would still be around.
Well, Amanda was my younger sister, my only sister. She was 16 and in a car accident, December 12th, and the car ran into a tree, basically, and she died, I believe it was a minute or two after the initial impact.
Amanda was my daughter. She was 16. It was the worst day of my entire life, although probably some days since then got worse than that night, because grief is horrible. Well, when they asked me, I said yes right away when they asked me about donation. But then I said, isn't it too late? Because in the movies, they're always hooked up and they want the heart for this child over here and they want the liver for this person over here. And I knew that wasn't happening with Amanda because she had died in her car. And then they told me about corneas, about bone, tissue, ligaments. there's all kinds of other things that they can take to help people. And they told me later that over 50 people had been helped by Amanda. And I did get to meet Carmen, who has her cornea, which is just, Amanda would have been just, to know that a little baby got her. And she's a really sweet girl from a really nice family.
The first time that I met Carmen, the little girl who received Amanda's cornea, was at a Detroit Tigers game. And when I first met her, it was a wonderful feeling, but then looking at what she was wearing, she had a t-shirt on with my sister Amanda's picture, and it said, "Thank you, Amanda, for the gift of sight." So that was a wonderful feeling too.
What I like to tell people when I speak or I'm at an expo or something is if you were laying in the hospital and the doctor said you needed a kidney or this or that in order to survive, you would take one. If you're willing to take one, you should be willing to give one. And I think holds true with the eye bank.
Shortly after my mom passed away, they sent a letter to myself and my father stating that her corneas were used and that they were donated to seniors that were in their 70s. And they kind of gave a little bit of a demographics as far as where they lived. And basically just kind of reiterated to me that it was a good idea, it was the right decision, and kind of made me think about the family, wondering if I'd ever meet them or anything like that. But just being happy for them that part of her is still alive in them.
I think my sister's in heaven. I know she is in heaven, and I think she looks through the person's eyes who received her eyes, and I think my sister smiles as a result of it. I think it's the same for anyone who received an organ from my sister. Their lives are enhanced, and I think she's, in a strange way, part of their life.
She approved of what I did because she cared about people. She wanted to help people, and to help people by giving them her organs, it was a blessing. She would have loved it. She wouldn't have wanted anything less. She loved helping people, and I wanted to do that, to have her to live on and for her to help someone.
I'm 100% changed in the way I look at donation. I'm signed up, I have the heart sticker on my license, my daughter, my son-in-law, my family's signed up, my friends are signed up.
I think if my mom, if we had chosen not to donate her organs, to me, it's a waste of a very vital part of someone that could help so many people.
I joined the donor registry because I saw the positive things that can come out of organ and tissue donation.
I know that some people listen to me tell my story and they still don't sign up, and I just want to tell them it's the simplest thing to do, and you can save people's lives. And I mean, that's what I do tell them, and I don't know why they still don't do it. I just don't know why.
Your age doesn't matter. Whether you're 90 or you're 3, go ahead and give them. Somebody can use something that you have to offer and allow somebody else to have a better life.
I joined the donor registry so I could give someone the gift of life.
All of these people's lives are worth saving. If it was my brother, my sister, one of my children, I would give anything to keep them alive. Then we should be thinking about that for other people's children and sign up on the organ donation registry. It's the right thing to do.